Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me for this acrylic painting tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint a daisy with a ladybug on it. It's going to be simple. I'm going to try to keep it beginner friendly for you, and I'll show you step by step how to do it all the way through from start to finish. We've got my husband Mark with me today.
Hey there, everybody.
He's man in chat for the live show, so if you're with us for that and you want to ask questions, you can post those in the chat with all caps, and we'll try to answer them. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to use a 6 by 6 inch little mini canvas today, but you can use really any size canvas you want. You can make it a little bit bigger if you want, like the original reference photo was. You don't have to use this, just a square canvas, but I'm going to use the smaller one tonight. Go over our brushes with you. We've got a few Princeton brushes. I've got... This is the 6100 series, the number 6 Filbert, number 4 Filbert, and a number 6 Bright. And then I've got a couple of rounds, a number 1 and a number 2/0, 2/0 round. I don't know if I was showing the tips there. Then I've got a couple angle brushes. These are the 3/8 inch and the 1/4 inch angle brushes. So, and those are the Velvet Touch line brushes. So I think that's all we'll need. We might not use all of them. We'll see how it goes as we get to painting.
Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to the sponsors.
Yeah, the canvas tonight is not our sponsor canvas, but the brushes are Princeton sponsors.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and
now I'll let you do the paints.
Thank you. Zinc White, Unbleached Titanium, Titanium White, Quinacridone Magenta, Cadmium Red Medium, Cadmium Red Light, Cadmium Yellow Light, Cadmium Yellow Medium, Yellow Oxide, Phthalo Green Yellow Shade, Phthalo Blue Green Shade, Burnt Umber, Burnt Sienna, Dioxazine Purple, and Black. You can see how those two look almost identical. We may not use all of these colors, but we will be doing a second part to this series. We'll be doing Dragonfly next week. So some of these colors will be used on that painting if they're not used tonight. So that's why I put those all out so we can have matching palettes. Even if we don't use them all. So let's go ahead and I think let's start with what?
All matchy.
Yeah.
I like it. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
That's all right. Okay, so I think to start, I'm going to do some green in the background, and I'm going to just go ahead and cover the whole canvas with this. I'm going to do a really bright green. This will be the undertone for the daisy and the greenery back here. Just cadmium yellow light and phthalo green yellow shade. It's going to make a really bright, vivid green. I add a little bit of white to it when we get down under here by the daisy, so it's a little bit softer. We're going to go ahead and throw that all on there really quick, and then have Mark dry it for us really fast. I almost did this ahead of time, but I figured this was kind of an odd color, so I wanted to show you how I mixed it. So it doesn't really matter that this is a clean blend or not.
Man, you know a way to a man's heart. Give me to dry
Blow drying.
Yeah.
I know.
I feel like I'm part of the.
Brings you back to the 80s
process.
when you had that
sweet feathered hair. Oh yeah,
parted down the middle.
Don't be thinking about that right now. Got to stay focused on the painting.
All right. Yeah, I don't want to get distracted by that image. All right, I'm going to give you that really quick to, yeah. I did. I threw up a little bit in my mouth thinking about it. All right. We're going to give our stick man here a little ladybug somewhere. So let's put it on top of his hat up here. My dog wants to go out with Mark. He's convinced Mark has more fun. He's scratching at the door to go out with him now. Scooter, stop it. We'll give him some little spots. Okay, there we go. Stickman is Mark's creation. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We're happy to have you and hope you enjoyed the show today and subscribe. Come back to learn how to paint with us. We do these shows twice a week. And Mark, this is Mark's contribution to the art. And I kind of play with it and we add a little something to it really quickly while he's blow drying every show. So just for fun, kind of like stretchy pants. I wear them every now and then, just for fun. Or if you're in my case, wear them all the time. It's my work uniform.
Yeah, that's why you work from home. You can wear stretchy pants all the time.
Not gonna lie. All right.
No heels.
Nope. None of that. All right, so I want my daisy to kind of fill this area here. Go ahead and pop up that reference photo so we can see what I am doing here. There we go. So you can see on the square canvas, this part is going to be the round circle. And if you want to make a circle here, you know, with the jar lid or something like that, you can use that. And then we're going to have a big old petal that's going to go right here. And it's kind of a teardrop shape there. And then there's a smaller one that comes out this way. This circle may be a little bit too big. We might make it a little bit smaller. Just fit more of these petals in here. And then one big one right here. Takes up this space. And then our big old ladybug is right smack dab in the middle right here. And there's another big petal that goes right off the edge. Okay, so we'll just start painting it and you'll see what I've drawn there because it's kind of hard to tell. So I'm going to grab some yellow oxide and some cadmium red light, maybe a little bit of the burnt sienna. And I'm going to dab that in the center of our daisy. It's going to seem like a weird color at first because it's not at all what's going to be on top, but if you look closely in our picture, there's these little dark crevices down inside the flower. You know, it's not just a solid yellow, and so we need these darker colors in there to give it something to contrast against. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that green, pop some of that in there, or like a gray green, kind of mixed with that burnt umber or burnt sienna color, so it turned a little bit more brown. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the yellow oxide there, a little bit of the green. And kind of toward the outside edge, I'm going to use a little bit more of that. And you can see I'm kind of being messy about it. I'm just kind of tapping it in so it has sort of a texture. A little bit of that green might be showing through. That's kind of what we're going for. And just make sure that you're doing a circle for this. So you want it to be a circle out here. You don't want it to be kind of cut off and square. The tendency is to kind of round this out straight down, and then you end up with a weird radius for your flower. So circumference, maybe? I don't know. Circumference, I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, the last time we got into the radius and circumference and diameter question, we had a lot of people.
And comments?
We got a lot of math folks that set us straight because we were wrong. So I'm going to just stay away from that as much as possible.
Stick to the art.
Stick to the art.
It's about 3 fingers width. Done.
Too right, honey.
It's about a pickle jar cap.
Exactly.
Big.
That's about as good as it's going to get with us. All right. Or at least with me. You're the math guy in the family. You'd never know I got straight A's in algebra in college even. Not anymore.
That's because this is geometry.
You don't use it, you lose it. Well, that's true. I never was very good at geometry, so there you go. Okay, so I've mixed the phthalo green and phthalo blue together. That made a teal, and then I've mixed a little bit of the burnt umber with it. And I'm going to go between our daisy petals here and just tap in some of this. And I'm still using this big old brush here. It might be too big. We'll see. I'm going to try to kind of define these flowers with petals a little bit. Darken up the ones that need darkening. I feel like that one got the short end of the stick. It's seeming a little bit small there, but that's okay. Just going to go with what the picture's telling me to do. And there are some like white little dabs in there, but I'm not going to put those in. I'm just going to leave it green back here. Add a little bit of water so that I get kind of some softer coverage. I don't want it to be solid, so I'm going to grab that kind of original green and just dab some of that back in. Maybe I will add some white to it. And I'm going to add some little dabs with some white blended. Once I get that on there, I'm just going to kind of, this really looks weird. I think it'll look better once we get our flowers on there. And our, you gotta kind of know paintings, all paintings. I've said this before, they all have an ugly stage. So our job as artists is just to kind of ignore our thoughts screaming at us saying this is wrong. Your brain's gonna be about right now, you're gonna be looking at this and going, this is all wrong. Like this cannot be the right way to do this. And you can see mine looks like,
I will say that kind of looks like maybe fourth grade.
Exactly.
Right now.
Exactly. So and this is normal. This is totally normal. With acrylics especially, it takes a lot of layers to get your painting to kind of the level that you are wanting it to get to. So you just kind of have to trust that process, that it will get you there, but it's going to take some ugly mess. It's kind of like a teenager. We all go through that ugly stage. You just got to keep on growing and working through it and hope for the best.
Some of us linger a little longer.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Some of us never quite leave it, but that's okay.
Hey, real quick, somebody wants to know, how wet is your brush while you're doing all of that? Is it?
It's not super wet, but I do have moisture in it, and you do have to keep your brush hydrated, or it just won't. Okay, I can get the thing. It won't move around. You can tell when it's too dry because the paint will just kind of stick to the brush, and the canvas will seem too dry, and it just won't move around. So if that's the case, then it's not quite working. So I'm going to make a little bit of a gray. Use a little bit of the phthalo blue and burnt umber, and some of this Unbleached Titanium here. It's going to make a kind of a pretty blue-gray color. Add a little bit of water to my brush. Just dip the tip of it in.
I turned it off. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just dipping the very tip of it just to about halfway. Just about halfway. Right like that. And then take it to the palette to pick up. Blend it in, and I'm smushing down pretty hard to get that water worked all the way through. And I'm going to pick up a little bit more, smush it down really hard. These heavy body acrylics especially are pretty thick, so it doesn't take a lot of paint to go far, but you need to add water to it for it to flow. Otherwise it'll just kind of stick to the brush and to the canvas. All right, so let's see if that's dark enough. I think that's good. Okay.
Somebody's asked if they don't have burnt umber, what could they use?
Burnt umber is burnt sienna plus black. So if you have burnt sienna, you can mix burnt umber.
Okay, is it equal parts, or
No, it would be more of the just a little touch of black.
just a little black? Okay.
Yeah. It's not super dark if you look at the black there, I'll mix it here in a second and see.
Oh, that's fine.
So I'm going to use this kind of around the outside edges. I don't want to cover up all my green because I want a little bit of it to poke through, but I do want some of this darker color. This will be sort of our shadow of our white petals. We need a little bit of shadow to give us contrast. Always go for that darker color. Look for those. I think that's one of the things that a lot of artists, when they're first starting to paint, gonna miss is that dark contrast. You've got to get those darker colors in there. Picking up a little bit of water because it was not moving off my brush. If you don't have those darker colors in there, you just don't have anything for your light colors to pop off of. There won't be any depth of your painting. So, okay, we're full on into the hot mess stage. Now, we are full on hot mess. Let's get some white going on here and we'll start pulling it back into where we want it to be, closer to what we want it to look like. So now I'm going to start putting it on pretty thick here because I want to get those other colors kind of covered. So I'm using pretty thick paint. Just a little bit of water. We'll go right down. But you notice that I'm doing it in stripes and I'm going in the direction that those petals grow. So they always grow out from the center in these kind of lines, right? You'll see them in the picture there. They've got these lines that kind of go all the way through to the tip of the flower. So we're going to, this one is more like this. There we go. All right, so this green's going to kind of show through too, so we'll give it several coats here. It's going to take a couple coats for it. It'll kind of bleed through the color, the white. So let's go ahead and do this right there. Most of this is going to be covered up our ladybug, but I do want to put it in so we don't have to paint around it. It'll be easier to do these stripes and things with the ladybug over the top later than trying to paint around it. And I'm going right up to that edge, right over the top of the edge to the center. There we go. It's really easy to paint these days, and they're a lot of fun. You can see already we've got, it's looking pretty good. But that's because we had those darker colors underneath there giving us those streaks. If we didn't have those darker colors, it would just be white on a white canvas. You wouldn't be able to see any of these details. I'm going to leave a little bit of that gray showing between those two petals there. There we go. Cute. First cute of the night. You know that the ladybug's going to get a lot of cuteness.
Well, there was a pre-show cute.
Was there?
From you.
Was there?
Mm-hmm.
I was already saying cute before
you
even started.
You didn't even know that you were, huh?
I didn't know. I was subconsciously cuting. Looking forward to the cuteness. Okay, there we go. All right, so
we're done.
If you wanted to do just a daisy, all we would have to do, actually, I forgot one of my brushes. I want to use a stippler for the center, for that yellow part. So I'm going to grab some yellow, cadmium yellow medium.
And the brush is dry.
This brush is dry. And I'm just going to stipple And I've only put it right on the tip, so there's not a ton of paint on here. And this helps me control it too, where it goes. Make sure you leave some of that dark color in there. Now I could use a just a brush like this and just dab it on too. I don't have to use the stippler, but I kind of like the fuzzy texture when I'm doing daisies. It just kind of looks a little more realistic maybe. Let's grab some of that light, cadmium yellow light. This will give us another color going on in there. Do some of that. And this is where we're going to go right over the top of that white layer. And we get that fuzzy that's going right over the top of those petals. There we go. Okay. All right, so if you wanted to do just Daisy, that's all she wrote. You pretty much got it right there. But we want to add our Ladybug. So I'm going to switch to my angle brush here and get my brushes cleaned out there really quickly. You want to leave your brushes in your water. It'll split them.
So go back. Which brush were you using to do the petals?
This was the number 6 Filbert.
Okay.
So I did all the petals. I pretty much did the whole everything with that except for the stippling for the center here. So far, that's the only brush we've used. So I wasn't sure. I thought we might use the smaller Filbert or the smaller or the round bright, but it worked out fine with the. So we're not going to need these two.
Okay. So they can use whatever they're most comfortable with.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as what I'm using. It just this is just kind of suggestion for what I'm using. But you
if you want to be like Angela,
works for you. What?
If you want to be exactly like Angela.
God help you for that too. No, you don't. It's a scary thought.
Hey, there might be Halloween costumes in the not too distant future. Oh, who are you? I'm Angela Anderson.
They'd have glasses and they'd have my sandals that I wear all the time.
Stretchy pants.
Stretchy pants, yep. Long sleeve shirts. It's not a whole lot. I don't have the afro. Like, I'm going to use some blue here. I'm using that phthalo blue. I want to add a little bit of that in there. Now that this is dry, I can see that it kind of needs a little something extra. So we're just going to add a little bit of the blue. That'll really kind of brighten that white up for us. And then I'm going to go ahead and do one more layer of the white before we do our ladybug, just because it'll be easier to do it now than to try to paint around it later. So do one more layer of that white. It's still not quite dry, but it's close enough.
So while you're doing that,
yeah,
we'll just talk about your traceables.
Yeah, if you don't like to draw and you don't want to, but you still want to paint, then I have traceables available on Patreon. It's patreon.com/AngelaFineArt. It's $1 a month. It's a very nominal fee. It just kind of helps us keep the, lights on and gives me a little bit of something for the time that it takes to create them. I do them digitally, black and white, so that you have the exact directly from the image that I paint. So it's exactly what I painted. I trace around it and I post it on Patreon, and then you can download as many as you want for $1 a month. So it's a pretty good deal, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of painting and you don't like to draw. All right, I'm going to let you dry this one more time, honey, just because it's pretty thick on there and it's going to be harder to draw and put the ladybug on there. So I'll let you do that. So yeah, I'll show you what we've been doing in Patreon. On Patreon, we've got a a bonus video coming up. I don't have it printed out. I just realized I was going to show you the printout, but I don't have it ready. But we've got a portrait that we'll be doing for our $5 level this month. We also do, for the $5 level, we do images of all the reference photos. So you'd get the original reference photo for the daisy with the ladybug on it, plus you'll get the finished painting, high resolution of my finished painting, and the traceable, and then the monthly bonus video. And we've done one almost... well, we've been doing the Patreon for over a year, but now we have, I think, about 10 bonus videos in our archives on Patreon, so you can access all of those. Last month, can you grab get the flowers there, the 2 flowers? Yeah, both of those. Yeah, just grab me that. Give me all that. So last month we did this one for our bonus video. So that's on Patreon, and then we did this one for the $10 level in my Facebook group, and in that group you get all of the stuff that the $5 level gets, plus a special Facebook group just for patrons. So, and we do a bonus challenge video every month. So
I was going to zoom it back in for you.
Okay, sorry. Well, I didn't know.
I see that.
All right, so here's our little ladybug. What?
Kind of like old school, like how you used to do it.
I know. Hand done. Yeah, I did. I did that for a long time by myself.
Want to see some good videos? Go back to some of those early ones.
God,
how did you ever get followers?
I have no idea how we ever got to 100,000 with the camera work we had going on in the first videos. God bless people like Mona who saw the potential. She's been around for since the beginning, just about. Yeah. Okay, so our little ladybug shape is, let me just draw it on the back of the paper here so you can see it, because I don't think you can see it very well on here. So we've got the body is kind of a cut off oval, and it's a little bit pointed at the end there, like that. So it kind of comes out and curves out like that and rounded out and a little bit pointed right there. There's a split down the middle. Then the head is kind of almost a separate part. There's this is the shoulder area, I guess. I'm not sure what it's called. Please don't send me. Well, if you know it, you can leave a comment, I guess. I'm sure there's a name for this. So it's like a squish, another like squished oval that's kind of, maybe that's a trapezius. What is that?
What?
Well, the shape. I'm talking, with
trapezius?
I don't know. Trapezius. Trapezoid? That's the one I'm thinking of. Stop. All right. I should not try to say math terms ever. Just tell me. Just don't do it. Mark's over there laughing at me. All right. So you got this, whatever this shape is right here. 2 lines with kind of a curve on either side. Don't go farther past this point here. So it kind of curves in like this and this. You can kind of see that this whole shape should be kind of an oval right here. So you don't go past that point right there. And then the little head is just this kind of little, almost triangle shape right there, like that. And then you've got little feelers down here. I'm not sure what those are. A couple little spots. I don't think these are the actual eyes. I'm not sure where the actual eyes are. I think they're down here somewhere. And then there's little antennae that come out like that. And a couple of arms that come out from this part. And then there's another little arm poking out here. And then these legs come back and do like that. And I'm not seeing this arm leg at all. So there's our ladybug. We'll be having it right here, but at least you kind of saw how to draw it. You'll see it better once we get it on here. So I'm going to use the Cadmium Red Medium. And If you're using a red that's not opaque enough, you can add a little bit of white to it. It can help cover, because we've got a lot of white and yellow and other colors to cover up here. Trapezius is a muscle, isn't it? Or is that just wrong too? I don't know. You're not even
I have never heard of it before.
Okay.
But
Look it up for me,
you
because now
can
I'm
tell that
worried.
I'm very well read. And so I would know those kind of things.
Uh-huh.
So let me go get my phone and I'll look up trapezius.
Not ist.
I think they're the people who are in the circus.
Trapezius.
I think they're the
not
circus
ist.
performers.
Shh. You're not listening to me. Do you not have your phone with you?
No, I forgot it.
Oh. I can't believe I have to send him out of the studio for this. It's so dumb. Sorry, folks. I hope I'm not the only one that does that, but it's going to bug me. It's like forgetting somebody's name or something. All right. So trying to get that right shape there. Just kind of working it out slowly. Kind of do the inner part, and then I kind of slowly kind of work my way out and refine the edges until I kind of get them where I think they need to be.
Okay, smarty pants.
What?
Trapezius.
Yes.
Trapezius.
Okay.
It is one of the major muscles
I thought so.
of the back.
Yeah.
And is responsible for moving, rotating, and stabilizing the scapula.
Okay, so that is not a trapezius right there. Well, it could have been, though. It's his back, so who knows? Who knows?
Okay, whatever. So you were right again. I should have known after 33 years.
You're making fun of me for making up a word that is actually a word. I should get a prize every time you make fun of me for making up words.
And there's a reason why we don't play Scrabble. Cat, 3 points. Yes. Trapezius. 200 points.
That's not a word.
Oh, and you lose for challenging, too. So
Exactly.
give me your lunch money.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of black here, trying to get this shape worked out here. This kind of comes out this way, realizing it curves in slightly right here, so I'm going to be sure I do that. And I also want to be sure that I'm getting that shape, so I don't want it to go as far out as I drew it on my thing here. I drew it way out here, and that's not going to be right. So I need it to be a little bit daintier. Tucked in a little closer. And this is curved. This is curved. You can tell that the paint underneath is still like not quite fully dry. It's going to be tacky for a little while. And so you may have to add a little bit of water to your paint to get it to kind of go on smoothly. It's not going to want to. The acrylics are kind of sticky in general when they dry anyways. So that's why you should always varnish them. Because the dust or anything that's, in the pollution in the air will stick to them. Discolor them over time, and it'll be hard to clean. It's and they'll stick to each other too, so if you put two paintings face to face, they'll stick to one another. Just don't do that. All right, so there's a little ladybug. We'll give him our little head. So it kind of comes up straight like that, and then makes a
There was a video a few weeks ago where you thought you were being attacked. And it turned out to be a ladybug.
That was actually really funny. Mark was making fun of me. It sounded like a wasp. It was making all kinds of racket. And here it was up by the light. And we did our little ladybug test on it. Somebody told me that it's the smell of the ink that it follows. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it was following I was drawing on a paper and it was following my line. What painting was that? That was one of the, might have been the seashell. Maybe, I can't remember. Okay, there we go. So cute. I feel like it needs to be a little wider. Now that I got the body all on there, I feel like this part needs to be kind of squared off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Square that off. Bring this out and square it off. And then widen it out a little bit.
Okay, Nell says it was the Blue Jay painting.
Blue Jay. Oh, good. I'm glad somebody remembered.
And they also asked, what would you put between paintings to keep them from sticking?
Wax paper works well. There's also a plastic sheeting, and I can't think of the name of it. It's got a special name, but it's used for, like, galleries use it. Brown wax, really any kind of waxed paper works well. Deli paper works, like the little kind of wax sheets that you get at deli. Those can work. I'm gonna mix a little bit of yellow with my cadmium yellow light, or cadmium yellow medium, cadmium red light, and a little bit of white here. So kind of equal parts. We'll start putting some of the details on our ladybugs. This part up here is actually kind of orange. We'll start putting a little bit of that in there.
So should you remove the meat from the deli paper before you put it between the paintings?
Yeah, I would probably not use the meat variety. I have a little thing of it over there that I bought off of, I can't remember. I think I got it on Amazon. You can get pretty much anything on Amazon anymore. So, all right. So now I want to put some of the yellow shine onto the ladybug here. So I'm going to grab my cadmium yellow. I mixed it a little bit with this red that I have in my brush. And I'm going to dab it on right down here, wherever it's kind of facing that yellow flower. It's kind of still wet, so it's not quite blending quite yet. There we go. Clean that out. I'm going to go ahead and switch to a little bit smaller brush now. Grab that 1/4 inch angle. I can get some of these littler details in. I'm going to use a little bit of cadmium, or a little bit of phthalo blue with my white, and grab some of that black. Get some. Let me spray my palette, it's starting to get it dry. I'm just making a gray here, kind of a light gray. I'll wipe most of that off after I blend it on there. Grab a little bit more of that blue and a little bit darker. wipe most of that off. And we're going to use that right in here. I'm going to highlight the top of the head with a little bit of that blue. And let's use some of our Zinc White. Create our little highlight on the back of the body. Now, if you don't have Zinc White, you can use Titanium White and just use a little bit of water to try to make it a little bit more transparent. It's not it won't look quite the same, but it'll be similar. I'm going to get a little bit of the regular Titanium White here and do wipe that off. I tapped in a little bit of color, wiped off my brush, and now I'm just going to kind of gently tap it. This will lightly blend it in. If it's just kind of smearing, wipe off your brush again and just tap around the edges. I'm not really tapping in the middle. I don't want to lift the paint off where I want it brightest. What that will do is, let me do it up here. So I'll put a little color on where I want it brightest, right there, and wipe my brush off. And then I can kind of go gently around the edges. Your brush is going to act like a sponge, and so it'll kind of sop up the extra paint, and you can move it around where you want it to go really easily doing that. Let's grab some of the unbleached titanium and some titanium white. I'm just going to mix it kind of equal parts just about. And we'll use that for the eyes, if I can get it in there. Or the little, what look like eyes. They're not really, I don't think. Get a little bit more of that black because my highlight came out too far. So I'm just going to go around that a little bit to define it a little bit better.
Oh, I need to look up Ladybug anatomy.
Sure.
Well, you were
Get
talking
some
about
Ladybug
maybe eyes or
facts.
something.
Yeah, do it.
Well,
Hashtag Ladybug facts.
some of them may not be very ladylike.
Uh-oh. Why?
Well, they can't be all. I'm just saying.
Oh, they can't all be ladies. True. True. Their babies look weird, too. I thought they were, remember when we had that tree out front, the ladybugs would eat the aphids on it, and they had a bunch of baby ladybugs out there, and they look like beetles. They are a beetle, but they look like totally different. They're kind of flat, and they're all like lumpy and kind of red and brown, and I don't know. They were just weird. I would not have never ever thought that they were ladybug babies or juvenile ladybugs.
See, you remember stuff like that. I don't remember.
You don't remember
that kind of stuff. Yeah, it looks, it's long.
Yeah.
Black and orange.
Kind of flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It looks really weird.
It's interesting.
Yep. Okay, there's a couple of white spots on the sides here. It goes right up against the edge there, but I'm going to leave just a little bit of the black there just to make it easier to see where it starts and stops. But I'm going to go ahead and get as close as I can without kind of covering over that. This is got a little tiny touch of that unbleached titanium in it again. Oh, it's so cute. Can't stand it. So fun painting cute things. I love my job. So fun. All right. I don't think you have nearly this much fun when you are working, honey. You're not like, that spreadsheet is cute. I love my spreadsheet.
In case somebody from work is listening, I'll refrain from
Commenting. All right. Yeah, I don't want you to get in trouble. We did have one of your work friends watching the other day, which was very nice of them. He even sent you a really nice note afterwards.
Yeah, I did. That was good.
Sweet. So you're not just playing hooky when you leave early on Tuesday nights.
Everybody knows when I leave early. Oh, it's Tuesday night.
Yeah. Mark's going to be leaving early.
If I'm not gone by 4 o'clock, they're like, what are you still doing here?
All right. I'm going to tap a little bit more of this Zinc White on here. So these ones have more of a hard edge, and then this one's got the kind of fuzzy color going around it, and that way we can kind of tell the difference between the spot and the actual anatomy. I'm going to use a little bit of this kind of blue gray color. Do a little bit of a kind of a, I don't know if there's a mouth here, I guess, or something. Yeah. These are the white parts are eyes? Really?
According to the picture I see, yes.
Okay.
It has antennae also.
Yeah, I'm going to put those in right now. So this is all wrong. That original drawing. Take just a wet paper towel here and just kind of gently wipe off any chalk lines I'm still seeing. Don't need those anymore. All right, so our little antennae are going out from right about here, this way, and up.
So they're called ladybirds in Britain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to put that in my description then.
Yeah.
For searches.
And I'm not going to, well, sure, I'll try the scientific name.
Oh, I think I didn't put that far enough forward, darn it.
Lydia. So, yeah. Ladybug.
Cute.
Mm.
Let's get a little bit of white, a little bit of burnt sienna, and a little bit of red. I still had that gray in my brush. We're just wanting kind of a light flesh tone almost. I'm going to go over the antenna with that. And go back to the angle brush. Grab some of the black, and this is where I'm going to use a little bit of the purple too. And go right up there. Right up down the middle. Got a spot that kind of spreads out like this between those two white dots. And I'm just going to use the edge of my brush and tap, 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 tap. That will get kind of a rough border on it. It's not very smooth. It's kind of rough. Right there. Grab some more of that color. Over here, we've got a spot that's going off the side. Use the tip of the brush, just tap, tap, tap. Do another one kind of equal spots. Tap, tap, tap.
So other
two right here. What?
Other names. It says in parts of English, according to this website, it says in parts of England, and for reasons that are unclear, the ladybug is a bishop.
Bishop.
Local variants of this name abound, including the amazing Bishy Bishy Barnaby.
Oh, that's very appropriate. I want to call it that from now on. Because they're so stinking cute.
Bishy Bishy
They
Barnaby.
need a cute name. Yep. I totally approve of that name. Not that they care that I approve, but I love it. It's cute. Scooter, seriously? Every show.
Spotted ladybug is affectionately known as little cow in some parts of the world.
Little cow.
God's little cow in Russia.
Really? Little cow. That's weird. That's kind of odd.
Or Vache Dieu, which is cow of God in French.
Oh,
Hopefully I said that kind of right.
you sound like it.
So, yeah.
Trying to get these somewhat similar size. They don't have to be exactly the same. They're not exactly the same in our picture. So, Scooter, you're going to have to go out if you don't stop. Just every show. Poor puppy. Our dog has all kinds of issues. Diabetes, congestive heart failure. He's a mess. He takes more medicines than anybody else in the family. Okay, these two are kind of angled down in that way. I feel like I want to add more spots, but I'm not. I'm going to refrain. I want to add so many more.
They only have 7.
I really want to, though. I'm feeling like all these open spaces that could have. I can't believe they only have 7 spots because I really feel like they have more.
They're named after the Virgin Mary, and the 7 spots represent the 7 sorrows.
Okay.
So 7. I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, fine.
Fini.
I'll stop. No fun.
You can put more spots on Stickman if you need to.
Okay. Yes.
If you need to get your spot fix.
I actually only did 3 on the side, so I did it right on him, I guess. Okay, I'm going to do Quinacridone Magenta and some white. And we're going to put in some highlights over the top of our black, right along this edge here, just inside the edge. So we want to leave that nice dark red border there. We're going to come right on the inside, go over the top of that red with that, do some more over here. And I'm not full strength white, so I've got a little bit of water in my brush so that we're seeing through. You could use Zinc White too if you want to. Okay. Oh, it's starting. Isn't it amazing? I just love painting because it's like magic. And sometimes when you get to the stage where you're starting to add some of these details, it's just like you add just the right thing, and it's just like, wow, now it looks 3-dimensional. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we're doing the transparent color first, and then we'll put the brighter highlights on afterwards around it, kind of like we did up here. So I'm just doing the kind of bright pink spots. I might grab a little bit of the blue with some of that zinc white. Wipe my brush off. Just use a little bit of that color in here, especially over the top of the black area. Those spots might turn a little bit of blue or blue. Let's put a little bit of the blue up here on this one. Okay. So cute. Okay, I couldn't hit that. I'm sorry. I had to do it one more time. I'm going to do some more of that yellow down here. Now that that's dry, it will kind of show up a little bit better along that edge there. Let's do a little bit more down in the middle. Anywhere else we need a little bit of brighter. Let's go ahead and grab some of that Cadmium Red Light. Put in a bright spot of it up here on the shoulders. There we go. Maybe a little bit of it next to the highlight there. Oh, he's so... I can't stand it.
So you must have been part of the talking part of the anatomy, which somebody put in comments thorax.
Thorax. Thank you.
So
This part?
I guess so.
Okay. Thorax.
And I laughed because it reminded me of ornaments. Thorax.
Now I've got the titanium white, so I'm going in for the brighter highlight here. I don't want to cover up too much of that black, even though on our picture it's kind of pretty much covered up. I do want to kind of leave that black spot on there so you can kind of tell what's underneath there. There we go. Go a little bit with the white over here, a little bit down here, a little bit more kind of along that outer edge. Okay, now he's all kind of 3D-ish. Let's give him some more legs and we'll be done. Pretty fast on this guy. So this leg is going to be in segments, so I'm just going to do kind of dots for it. Dot line, another dot, another little bit of line, another kind of dab, another dab, and a little hook. This leg is hiding back here, so I'm just going to kind of put the indication of it kind of going around the back side there. This leg here. Let's see where it's curving from. So it's about right where those spots are, just above those spots there and there. I feel like we're a little bit off center on this body shape, but I'm not going to fret over it too much. So there. Back. I don't know why I did that one that way. Just look at all like it does in the picture. This one comes back this way. Kind of two little hooked legs there. And this one comes off this way. If you get it too thick, when you first put it on, you can kind of wipe it right off. So just keep that in mind. And this one is a little bit higher than the one over there. And then there's a little leg just peeking through right here. Little hook. I feel like I want to see this leg on this side come on up this way. It doesn't have any place for it to attach, so it's obviously kind of holding on down low, but I feel like I sort of miss it, but oh well. All right, there's our ladybug. Cute. So next week we're going to do a dragonfly that'll be in the same size, and it'll kind of match it in color somewhat. It'll be more blues and purples, but we'll use the same basic colors and try to work them in wherever we can so that they kind of go together somewhat. There should be three in the series. We'll see how the dragonfly does next week, and if we get enough people watching, we'll do a third one. We'll do the butterfly. If not, we might do something different. So let me know what you like to see down in the comments, and we're going to try to, do as much. We always like to hear from you and see what your ideas for new videos are. And I'm going to sign this guy, and we will be done. Give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Using my Pigma Sakura pen. If you want to find the link to all of my supplies and things down in the description, there's a Amazon store that has all of my basic supplies that I'm using tonight. Thebrushguys.com also has the brushes. The Amazon store is amazon.com/shop/Angela Fine Art. So I don't have it up there on the screen, but it's down in the links. You can find the link, and when you purchase on Amazon, it helps our channel too. It's an easy way to kind of support the channel. If you've got stuff you want to buy, art supplies, you can go look it up.
What are we doing Saturday?
Saturday, we are doing a woman walking in a field of poppies. It's going to be really pretty, I think. Looking forward to that one. So, all right, guys, we'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.